Wes Craven's Scream is widely known to have revitalized the horror genre, and some go as far as to say it's the best horror film of the 1990s. While that may be subjective, you can't deny the brilliant simplicity of Scream, released in 1996. Ironically, it's a horror movie pointing out the tired cliches and formulas to create the perfect murder mystery. But before we get started into one of Wes Craven's best films, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button so you can get updates for my next video release. Screenwriter Kevin Williamson crafted this self-aware slasher film that was inspired by real home invasions followed by gruesome murders in Gainesville, Florida. Little did he know that his opening scene in the script about a woman being taunted by a killer on the phone would become a signature of the franchise. The opening scene of Drew Barrymore is so effective and powerful, it can act as a standalone short film. This was the first time in cinema history where a horror movie knew its own rules. Kevin Williams' script was fresh and cleverly acknowledged what was desperately needed at a time when the horror genre was declining. All the project needed was a director's vision to bring his script to life. When it did, Scream became a pop culture phenomenon. It provided the perfect balance of horror satire. Even in those light comedy moments, one thing was always made clear from the beginning to end. Scream is violent, viscerally scary, and thought-provoking while being grounded in reality. Neve Campbell portrays Sidney Prescott, who I personally feel is the epitome of a heroine for the ages. After having her personal life publicized with the rape and murder of her mother, she is the target of Ghostface. Ghostface is a creepy killer, donning a mask with a very specific personality. When you look at other popular horror movie icons, there is something unique about them. Freddy Krueger kills his victims in their dreams. Jason Voorhees can be shot or stabbed repeatedly and keep going. Jigsaw uses traps to test his victims' abilities to survive. But when it comes to Ghostface, it can be anyone. Phone calls to Ghostface is like a trademark. It's a signature that he, she, or they are known for. The extraordinary voice performance of Roger Jackson sets the tone for each phone call or victim.
Do you want to die, Sidney?
His voice is creepy, seductive, and downright psychotic when necessary. In Scream, his prey includes an intelligent yet sympathetic cast of players all taking part in a layered murder mystery. Sidney Prescott is a strong, fully developed protagonist. Her charm rivals other final girls like Laurie Strode. Not only is she resilient, but she is hyper-vigilant. An example of that can be seen early on in Scream. She deliberately has her bedroom door trapped by the cupboard door so that no one can enter without her allowing it. One of the many great things about Scream is how it was able to reinterpret the old formulas. An example of that would be in the third act of the movie, while film geek Randy explained the rules of surviving a horror movie while John Carpenter's Halloween plays in the background. At the time, this meta approach to storytelling was very different for screenwriting. But in today's standards, it may come across as overused or cliché to some. Even if Scream was not the first horror movie to exist in a universe where horror movies are discussed, what made Scream unique was the way it mythologized the idea of slasher movies. Kevin Williams' script highlights the rules of horror movies and modern movie monsters. Wes Craven's style, combined with Kevin Williams' script, inspired many imitators in the late 90s and early 2000s. You see that with movies like I Know What You Did Last Summer, released in 1997, Urban Legend, released in 1998, and Cabin in the Woods, released in 2011. Other horror movie franchises got in on the action like Don Mancini's Bride of Chucky. Self-referential humor was used toying with the audience's preconceived notions or expectations to watching a horror movie. The movie's poster parodied the poster of Scream 2. Self-aware commentary has become more widely prevalent in cinema as a whole, regardless of genre. Scream understood this assignment from day one and has not shied away from it. To a certain extent, Scream is not about the plot. It's about the characters who know they are in a plot, examining each and every move by the killer until the very end when a motive is revealed. Even if you're not scared, the movie's conflict is genuinely suspenseful. The legacy of Ghostface remains formidable, and for me personally, watching Scream is a wildly cathartic experience. An experience I hope to get once again for the new highly anticipated Scream being released in January 2022.